Well, in an entire country, we have enough information, enough data to know what's going on. And I'm afraid in the case of Croatia, for example, their rate of coronavirus nearly tripled in the space of just over a week. So we really had to act, and we've had to act quickly. Of course, it would be lovely to say, well, this city, but not that city, etc. You can see from what's happening in the United Kingdom. We have a lot of data because we're carrying out enormous amount of testing. We can test 330,000 people a day in our system. We're also doing a lot of surveying. We don't have that capacity in other countries to get to that sort of level of detail. So I'm afraid it does have to be on a country-by-country basis. And as I know, because I had to come back from Spain after I put it into quarantine myself the day I arrived in Spain for what should have been a family holiday, it is inconvenient. I do feel for people who are having to return, but we must protect public health back home. We can't get ourselves back into a situation with coronavirus out of control. I wish it was that simple. I wish you could just take a test on arrival and say, I'm fine, I'm clear, and then get on with life. But the reality is if you test somebody who isn't symptomatic, so they don't have coronavirus, and of course they shouldn't be travelling if they know they have, you're very unlikely to actually detect somebody who has actually got coronavirus on that test on day one as they arrive at the airport, because it has an incubation period. So it will give people the wrong impression that they're free to go. Everyone recognises that, including Heathrow, who I've been talking to a lot about this. So you have to have a second test, or a test perhaps after 8 days or so. Once you've got the result, you start to see you don't have that. It doesn't cut the quarantine quite as short as you might think it should. So we are looking at how best to do this. I'm working with Heathrow and others on that, and we'll talk about it more once we have potential solutions in place. It's not that we don't want to do it, it's just that there's nothing right now that replaces the quarantines. When I see what's happened in Croatia, the level's gone from about 11 to 27 cases per 100,000 in just over a week. It would be deeply irresponsible for the government not to react. We've always said that we're going to act as soon as we see a problem. That's what's happened in Spain and France, and we've got to look after the gains that we've succeeded in getting here in the United Kingdom of pushing our levels right down. We've got to keep it there, and I think people have a right to expect us to do that.